Hi, this is Chris Buss with Traders Profit Compass with a mid-session update for Monday, September 21st. It's 1:15 as I'm starting the video. I wanted to run through the market indexes and then jump into some of the SPDR Sector ETFs that we reviewed over the weekend and then run through the FANG names very quickly. Okay, here's SPY on the daily. You can see we've clearly lost the 50 now. We do have an overhead gap above, but now support lies down in this 320 area. And if everything, goes according to Hoyle, that I would expect price to come down to at least that 320 level. Whether that happens today or tomorrow or later in the week, we have no idea, but it's not typical for for this to just reverse out in space. So anyways, one thing you should note today is how broad the selling has been. It actually, tech is outperforming, believe it or not. And SPY and IWM specifically are underperforming as the selling has reached out to other areas. Let's look at the 30-minute chart. And I do have to apologize. I did miss this level. I had sent out a note, looking for 320 as a bounce area. I failed to see this high volume over price bar here, and that is what provided that support in that area. And another thing you can always look at when you're trading is, we saw 3 bars all test that 322 level and not go below. That's always a good sign that support, for whatever reason, is coming in. Now, I've penciled in this big overhead gap that has yet to be filled, and I've sketched in a downtrend line coming off this high, picking up all these points here below. Now, if we get, an afternoon rally, especially if it takes out this this big sell candle, that would be a signal, for probably a run back up to test this gap in this downtrend line. I couldn't say if it's going to fill or not fill. I can only say that, if price were to come up and break above this downtrend line and the gap, that it would probably go up here and at least get to 329, 330, if not fill the whole thing. So that would be quite a rally and something to pay attention to. But as it stands now, we're putting in a small bounce. We have come back to check down on another check of this low. That's a common technical move. So the key is now in the afternoon, do we break the low or do we stay above and possibly rally into the close? QQQ Weekly, I had made a pretty big deal about looking at this PPO bear cross. Now keep in mind that this chart won't be finalized till Friday at the close. But as it stands now, we've got that bearish cross, and we had made note of the other times that has happened in recent memory where things have not ended particularly well. So keep that on your radar. Today you can see the drop down below this 268 level, which is where we closed yesterday. We have rallied off of the low. If I was short, and I am short, I told you what I did, and I rolled down this morning. So I took that, weekend win, if you will, off the table, and I've rolled down to even money. If price were to come up and recapture this low from Friday, that would be a bullish sign. Remember, recapturing a key level from below is bullish. That would give me pause, and I would probably close out my QQQ short if price were to do that. Looking more closely on the 30-minute chart, you can see price here. This is a live chart, so price is testing the bottom of this gap. Should it break through, there's a good chance that it would go up here and fill that gap. So I've got a close eye on that going forward this afternoon. That's also a place where you can see has been resistance for the last hour and a half. So it's also a place where it could roll over. So that line is important here at the bottom of this gap. IWM, very, very weak. I don't know if that's COVID related, politics related. I don't know, but the selling really has broadened out. I don't spend a lot of time looking for reasons why. I kind of go level to level. Big drop and then underperformance today. I did get short on that move below 150 that we've been eyeing forever as a key level. We got the move down to 147.50 and a little bit beyond. So below this 147.50, 147 area, the next location for real support, and it's not on this chart, I apologize, but it's 145. So I'm still looking for lower here, given the underperformance. So I have a small short on IWM. I think I'm in at I think I got 148s, but I bought them. I bought them more up here. I bought 148s, a little bit out of the money, figuring on a move down to the 147 area. And I'm hoping, obviously, for a move down to 145. Gold and silver got really clowned this morning. I think as long as price is pinned below this resistance level that used to be support for all this, now that should be stiff resistance on the way back up and below the 50 EMA. I like gold short in this big void. And with this rally, you could anchor a location here just below 180 with a stop above and see if it doesn't roll over. I mean, that was some incredible weakness this morning, down some $72 before it caught a bid. Materials came down to tag the 50. We talked about that doji on the weekly over the weekend. Very weak. I probably wouldn't be interested in shorting it here above the 50, but below, I think you've got a shot down to 59. Communications, doji, drop. This is Facebook and Google. I don't think there's anything to do right here, right now at this time. I think unless you got short up here on a break of the 50, it kind of got away from us. Right now, we should be focused in on 56.50 or a rally back to 59.50 as more objective locations. Financials, different story, broke down, has been going down all day. I got short, as I clearly communicated over the weekend on that break. Obviously, on the gap down, missed this opportunity, but I think this is in real trouble. And the only thing that would shake me out of this is a move back above, 24.25, 24.50. It's below all the EMAs. So I am looking for a move down to 22.50. I just got some weeklies, and I'll roll that down as things proceed, or buy some extra time if it gets rolling, and looking for this move down here. Very, very weak, and is exactly what we've been looking for. Coming out of this double top, breaking this 24.25, and while the rest of the market is putting in a little bounce, hardly anything for financials. XLI tested a 50, which held. That would be a good point for you to alarm. Break below 75 and the 50 EMA would likely bring in more sellers and push it down here to the 200, down around 72, 71.50. Healthcare, kind of like the same thing. We lost this key 104 area. Price below everything except the 200. If everything stays true to form, I would expect the selling to continue down towards 100. If you got a little kickback rally up to 104, that would be a prime spot to initiate something with a stop just above. But you'll have to decide if you want to take something right here or not. Probably be a good idea just to see how far this bounce might go, and then either do something later in the day or just wait. There's the potential for turnaround Tuesday tomorrow after 3 days of selling. Tomorrow might be a rally day, so it might be best to hold off there. We have been watching this $2 range on utilities. It broke today. So now anything south of 58 is bearish, and it would have to reclaim 58 in order to get back on the right side of this chart. As long as it stays below 58, I think it can find 54 over a period of time. And the only thing that would dissuade me from that thought is a rally back above 58. Facebook, showing some resilience. Had the drop down this morning and now rallying back above 249, it looks like. Keep that 249 in the crosshairs, because if it comes up, fills the gap, and then rolls over again, you're back in business. So I'm still of the firm belief that is going to fill at some point, and be ready for it. If it comes back above and then rolls down back below 249, you can initiate your short and look for that gap to fill. Apple's been strong. Took a dip down here to 103 and has since recovered. Still hanging in that 105 short for 2 weeks out. If you were nimble and closed that, more power to you. I didn't do that, but certainly that was, in hindsight, that was a smart thing to do. Take that quick profit, and then you can recycle in short here up towards 108. If it gets that far, that would be a nice trade. And for the longs, I think 110 is your number. If it breaks above 110, it will take out this downtrend line and recapture this level. I think then you can take a confident long if it were to break above 110 and take out this downtrend resistance. Amazon, little bounce, but still weaker than most. I still think that this is heading lower. We may see a kickback rally up to 29.75, but lower is my call on Amazon. Microsoft too came down and found support at Friday's lows and has bounced since, has come up to close the gap. The true test will be at 202, 202.50, and then possibly 204 on a big rally with this downtrend resistance line and overhead resistance. So that would be a place where, a break above 205 would be a nice long, looking for 213. And if it rolled over, I would expect coming back to this 197 area. Google, we talked about, this is a daily chart, not to mess with it. Look where it found support, right at the 200, and has bounced since. So that was a good commentary to not try to, get too fancy with Google as it approached the 200. Netflix has been really strong. Coming up to the moment of truth. Now, if you were zeroed in on this morning and you saw 465 get recaptured, remember our trading cues. Recapturing from below is bullish. That would have been a great long. Then it recaptured this level. That should have given you more confidence. But now we are at downtrend resistance and honing in on this 485. If it's going to fail, I think it fails soon, but it is strong. And if 485 were to be recaptured, I think you can be long and look for 495 and then potentially 505 in the days ahead. Maybe even today if the rally is big enough. But, it is recapturing level by level. And that's what you want to see if you're looking for longs. And if you're looking for a short, if it's going to happen soon, it's going to happen here at this 485 level. See if it runs into trouble with this downtrend resistance and lateral resistance there. And if you see weakness or hesitation, that would be a place where you could get a great trade location for a potential short with a stop just above. Tesla's remained strong. Took a dip down to tag this uptrend line, found support, and has bounced nicely. So, and that battery day is tomorrow, apparently. So you guys that are in it, be aware of that. There's always the potential for a sell the news event. I have no idea or can't predict what will happen tomorrow. We'll just have to watch that price action and see if that is a catalyst for higher or sell the event type news. Okay, that's all I have. The rest of the afternoon, we're just going to have to monitor this bounce, see how far it takes us, see if those gaps above end up being resistance or if price can power through and close those gaps. So those would be nice longs if they can get that gap entry for you nimble, active traders. So I hope you like the content. Hit the subscribe button and hit the like button as well. And if you will, if you've got comments or feedback for me, I'd certainly like hearing about it. If you've got tickers you want me to review, sectors you want me to review, have any comments on how I can improve these videos to make them more useful to you, I'd certainly appreciate that. Also, check out the show notes for links to the blog and to subscribe to my content to get all this stuff delivered directly to your email box each and every day and throughout the trading session. This has been Chris Buss with Traders Profit Compass. Have a good rest of your trading day and talk to you next time.